Live radio, folks.
Now we welcome to Peebo Radio, a higher frequency. Won't you put your hands together for Lisa Mason? Welcome, Lisa. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing very well.
So, as we were talking, you're the first voice. Now, if this voice sounds familiar, folks, if you call over ARC, we're more than likely, oftentimes, going to talk to Lisa.
Absolutely.
And when we call you, what are we calling you about, Lisa?
So there's various calls, of course, but one of the most common would be owners searching for their lost animals. And also looking for resources about vaccinating their pets, about spay and neutering, which is extremely important.
And when they have those questions, you're then the point person to point them in those many directions.
Yes, sir, I am.
What about those phone calls? And you know those phone calls I'm going to because I see them on Nextdoor, you see them on Facebook. Those phone calls when I've lost my pet.
Absolutely.
What about those calls?
Yeah, so they are all too common, unfortunately. So we try to counsel them a little bit as far as guidance on what to do next, what's the next step. So, of course, the first step I suggest is social media. Go ahead and post a picture of your animal, the general location, and a contact.
And you can do that on the Peebo Radio Facebook and come to our PeeboNC.com. If you post it, we will also repost it. Post it everywhere else, but we will be a point person as well. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Absolutely. No worries. So, and then also post flyers, just a simple picture of your pet, a phone number, and do not chase. That's one of the things that a lot of well-meaning citizens try to do to help.
Okay, dude, I was about to say, okay, wait a minute. So for other people, do not chase.
Exactly.
Okay, and why do we say do not chase? Go ahead. I need to remember
that animal doesn't know you, and sometimes they are close to a roadway, and they're trying to get away from you, and they're not road savvy. So, unfortunately, in trying to help in certain situations, you can cause even more problems.
All right, so hold on. I have to, let's visualize this. So this is now from the aspect of once we see the post that the animal is out. This is what we should be doing now in trying to identify. All right, so now I see your dog. I see the post. I identify. What's my next step, Lisa?
You call the phone number. You call the shelter.
What's the phone number?
Whatever's on the flyer.
Okay.
Yeah. But our phone number is 919-542-7203.
All right. So, but do not chase.
Do not chase.
Should we put water out? Try and give some food? Something to make it stay, stay in one place?
Absolutely, if you have it handy. If not, follow the instructions on the flyer. Call this person, give them the location it was spotted, and let that owner go and try to take over, or call the ARC and we can give you guidance.
And I know this isn't a set answer, but is there an average kind of window of time or opportunity that you've seen over the years that, hey, within this amount of time, there is no right or wrong answer. I'm sure 2 weeks, in 2 weeks' time, but 72 hours, 48 hours?
It can, usually they come back fairly quickly, but we've seen instances at the ARC where we've had an animal in for months and all of a sudden someone calls and they're still, so there's always hope. Unless you have evidence of something else, but there's always hope. So, you keep trying.
What's the greatest distance?
Normally a dog will stay within a 5-mile radius, unless, sometimes people might try to pick them up and then they get away from them. So therefore it can, we had a dog just recently out of Durham County, that was returned to the owner that lives there. We have no clue how it ended up in Chatham. Luckily, it was microchipped. So, we were
How important is that? And what's the procedure for getting that done? Okay, walk me through. And since we did go through this, I come to get the dog. What's the step-by-step, like waiting period, meeting the dog, waiting period? What services do you provide so that the new owner either doesn't have to incur such an expense or what have you. Walk us through that, please.
Sure. So our animals, they are all fully vaccinated according to age. They are microchipped before they go home. They are also spayed and neutered. They're wormed. They're defleed, ticked. We cover all of that before they go home.
And you mentioned the microchipping. When does that happen?
That occurs before the adoption process.
Okay, and then how is that tracked?
So animal resource officers and I think some rescues probably do, and all veterinarian offices have a scanner that they can scan. And normally that microchip's placed just under the skin at the shoulder blades of the animal, but it can migrate down. So it's scanned, and then we call into whichever company actually programmed the microchip, and then they can give us the owner's information.
All right. And so how long have you been with the ARC?
Almost 2 years now.
All right. And how long have you been in Chatham County?
I've been in Chatham County off and on since I was in 6th grade.
So you've seen the growth for sure in Chatham.
Absolutely.
And if anyone goes out to Renaissance Avenue Parkway, don't let me get it wrong.
Drive.
Okay, I was going to say. All right. Just want to say this. Have you ever been to Atlanta? All right. This bothers me. They have a street, a road, simply called Boulevard. Not the Boulevard, not Smith Boulevard, not Rose Boulevard, just called Boulevard. I don't like that. It bothers me. You don't call something just Boulevard. You're not with me? That's not like
Absolutely.
Scratching your nails. That doesn't
Yeah.
bother. Everyone has I have a friend who, you know the cotton they put inside of aspirin?
Yeah.
I have a friend who is deathly afraid of that. Mine is Boulevard. All right, so if I come out to Renaissance Avenue Drive. Jesus, but not Boulevard. I noticed there, and folks noticed, there's a lot of new square footage out there.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
So we have added on to the building. We have a nice treatment room, intake room, where we're able to provide better care for these animals with a groom. They come in sometimes, they are matted, dirty. So we have a nice grooming tub, just... We've also been able to add more kennels to actually be able to shelter more lost, found animals.
I enjoyed when I was talking to one of our guests coming up next, and he let me know that Sheriff Mike was adamant that the goal is not to euthanize more animals. So when we are creating that much more square footage, and we see the population growth that's happening here, it is to build more of relationships with the community so that those animals are getting adopted, and we're not. So increase the square footage, and the goal is to lower the rate of euthanizing.
Absolutely.
Does that seem accurate, guys?
Absolutely.
All right. So that's what we're doing here. Is that we want to tell these stories on Where Bark They Now. Hold on, I did have a nice little sound thing. I'll work on that. On Where Bark They Now, so that people can see the real stories. Go to PBO, P like Paul, B like boy, O like octopus, and also like for Pittsburgh, PBO. Go to pbonc.com, pbonc.com. Click on Where Bark They Now. Look at Daffodil in the beginning. Look at where she is now. Credit some of the photo pictures to this up-and-coming artist named Nora Hall. She's doing really great. I'm quite proud of her. So photojournalism, art skills go to her. And check it out. And that's just our first story. We want more stories like this. If you did adopt your, I'll do this one for you guys. If you did adopt your animal from the ARC here in Chatham County, they cannot say, hey, Peebo, so-and-so adopted this animal and want to tell their story. Is this correct? You
That's
can't
correct.
Tell me that, right?
No.
You know why? Because I asked him. She said, no, we can't do that. But what can they do if they want tell their story on Where Bark They Now?
Absolutely. Share it on social media and make sure that you include the Chatham Sheriff's Animal Resource Center Facebook page.
And then reach out to me, Peebo, at PeeboRadioNC@gmail.com, PeeboRadioNC@gmail.com, and go to our Facebook, PeeboRadioNC@gmail.com. I mean, there are many ways to find us constantly. Trust me, there are many ways to find us, and we want
Tosh Talk thing, y'all.
say your information.
It's a Tosh Talk thing, y'all.
It's a Tosh Talk thing, y'all.
It's a Tosh Talk thing, y'all. Discuss, define, deliver. Come get in where you fit in. You hear?
It's a Tosh Talk thing, y'all.
Es una conversación con Tosh, y'all.
It's a Tosh Talk thing, y'all.
Es una cosa de Tosh Talk, y'all.
It is a Tosh
Tosh
Talk
thing,
So
y'all.
share your information, share your stories with us here on Where Bark They Now on Peebo Radio. Lisa, what else we got to tell the folks today?
So just make sure you spay, neuter, keep your animals safely at home, and thanks for supporting us.
And you want to give them that phone number one more time?
919-542-7203.
That's 919. Wait, you say it.
542-7203.
All right, everyone give a big hand to our friend Lisa Mason. I'm giving her a hand. Yay. Y'all stay tuned. We're coming right back with the new major. Congratulations are in order. Y'all listen to Delivered from my friends Congregation. All right.